Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I was given a very good suggestion by one of our elders that we should explain why we recite Ziyat Ashura every day. What is the reason for it? So one of the reasons why we actually started was because of Sayyid Zadeh here. He had given a suggestion some months ago to have Ziyat Ashura. Because in times of distress and in times of hardship, even for example the ayat of Quran, Amma yujibul muttarra idha da'a, it is also for times of distress and difficulty. So the ziyarat can be recited with multiple niyyah. People are suffering in the Middle East. We have issues or problems or difficulties or hajat. It is an excellent ziyarat to recite. Sayyid is here, he can maybe elaborate more. And generally, even if you look at the ziyarat, it is very relevant to our aqidah, very strong one. So inshallah tonight, pay attention to the translation, see it in a different way, and it's a very beneficial ziyarat for your own hajat and overall for also the difficulties being faced by Muslimin and Muslimat around the world. Shukran, and thank you for the suggestion, Abul Bhai. It was appreciated. Shukran.
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل، نعم المولى ونعم النصير. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله، لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق. ثم الصلاة والسلام على النبي الأمي القرشي الهاشمي العربي المكي الخاتم لما سبق والفاتح لمن غلق، المعلن الحق بالحق، الذي سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأرضين بأبي القاسم مصطفى محمد. وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين، الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. بهم نتولى ومن أعدائهم نتبرأ إلى الله، ثم اللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين، غاصبي حقوقهم منكري فضائلهم، من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد وقوله الحق: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا جاءك المنافقون قالوا نشهد إنك لرسول الله والله يعلم إنك لرسوله والله يشهد إن المنافقين لكاذبون. صلوات الله محمد وآل محمد. Today I'm seeing a lot of new faces, new illuminated bright faces. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep your hearts and faces bright and illuminated with the wilayah of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam. Just very quickly, for those who are today new, we are discussing Quran and ethical teachings. And we discussed a few things, and every night we are discussing a single issue, which is a vices of and a disease of the heart, or maybe an ethical problem which Quran tells us. Tonight we are going to discuss about hypocrisy, nifaq, munafiqat. A person who is a munafiq is someone whose inward reality differs from his outward appearance. What he shows is something else, and what he is inside, he's something else. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the whole chapter Munafiqun regarding these people. And it is such a dangerous disease of heart that we have to take care of us, and we have to take care that this disease should not harm us. Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala says, Innal munafiqeen lakadhibun. The first introduction for munafiqeen is that they are kadhib. They are the liars, and take them as your enemies. And these are the first verses. This is the first verse, and the later on verses, inshallah, we will discuss. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala discusses what are the qualities and signs of a munafiq person. Now, nifaq is of two types, mainly of two types. Some of the scholars, they talk about the third type also, but mainly it's of two types. Nifaq either exists in our aqaid and belief system, or nifaq is there in our ethics, in our akhlaq. Now, nifaq in our aqaid that is what you know, that someone, he shows that he's a Muslim, he's a faithful person, but he is not. From his heart, he is not. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this ayah. إِذَا جَاءَكَ الْمُنَافِقُونَ. When these munafiqeen, they come to you, O Prophet, when they come to you, إِذَا جَاءَكَ الْمُنَافِقُونَ قَالُوا نَشْهَدُ إِنَّكَ لَرَسُولُ اللَّهِ. That you are, we bear witness that you are the Prophet of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ إِنَّكَ لَرَسُولُهُ. Allah knows that, Allah knows better that you are the Prophet. وَاللَّهُ يَشْهَدُ إِنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ لَكَاذِبُونَ. And Allah bears witness that these munafiqeen are liars. So this is the first introduction for munafiqeen. Now, nifaq is of many types. So I told you, one nifaq is of aqaid, in our belief system. We are not going to talk about that. Nifaq in akhlaq is our topic for tonight, which is sometimes someone will meet someone with happiness, with a smiling face, with love, with compassion, while he's having hatred towards the same person. This is known as nifaq, that you are having something else in your heart and you are showing something else. This is nifaq. This is being two-faced. A person who's of two faces. This is munafiq. This is someone who is doing nifaq. Now this hypocrisy, this nifaq, is a very, very severe and a very dangerous problem in our society, in our communities today. That some people, they really interact with you with nifaq. But let me tell you in the beginning, don't call anyone a munafiq. You are also not supposed to call anybody a munafiq. It is a sin to call someone a munafiq while he is not. Sometimes this is also very, commonly seen. Maulana, that person is a munafiq. I don't want to talk to him. Why are you not talking to your brother? He's a munafiq. No, don't say this munafiq. This term munafiq, I will tell you now, it is a sin, and a person who says and attributes this sin to a person who is not a munafiq, it itself is a sin. So now this is something very important. What is the source of this nifaq? What is the source of this nifaq? If you know the source of the nifaq, you might cure it. The Holy Prophet says, Hubbul mali wa sharafi yanbutani an-nifaqa fil qalb. Two things are very important. Nifaq arises from two important things. One is hubbul mal. Excessive love of wealth will give rise to nifaq. If someone has excessive, having love of wealth, protecting wealth, generating wealth, it's not bad. It's in fact encouraged in the narrations that you go after wealth, try to, come out of poverty, generate wealth. It's a good thing. But to attach yourself to wealth so much, to an extent that you die for it, that is not recommended. That is bad. And Rasulullah says, Hubbul mali wa sharaf, love or excessive love of wealth and status will sow the seeds of nifaq in your heart. Nifaq is because of these two things. Now in the second narration, the sixth Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam, talks about a third important thing, which is again a source of nifaq, munafiqat. Now, sometimes, when I'm talking about these things, when I will be talking about the signs of nifaq or why, before reading these narrations, again, you have to be very careful, I don't want anybody to think, oh, Maulana is talking about these signs and I know these signs are in this person sitting next to me. Please don't do this. Don't think this. This is again something very bad. If a person thinks that, I don't have these signs, the person sitting behind me has these signs, I think you should take care of yourself more. You should take care of yourself more, because you are worried about these signs regarding the other person and you're not worried about yourself. This is something I'm talking about myself, and everybody has to look. Balil insanu ala nafsihi basira. I have been repeating this. Now, the sixth Imam says, Iyakum wa mujalasat al-muluki wa abna'ud dunya. Beware, don't sit in the company of kings and political leaders and those who are worldly people. Abna'ud dunya. Don't sit with them. فَفِي ذَلِكَ ذِهَابُ دِينِكُمْ وَيُعْقِبُكُمْ نِفَاقًا. Because in these companies, in these sittings and gatherings, you will lose your deen and you will fall into nifaq. This is again very important. Some people, they try to show off. I have connections with the president, I have connections with the minister, I have connections with this and that. These are worldly people. Now, I don't want to discourage any profession here. Some politicians are really good people, good at heart, but majority of them are seen in bad conditions, worldly people. So Imam ﷺ warns us, yes, if you need something, you want to, go to them for your rights, for your legal rights, it's okay. But sometimes people like and they enjoy their company. Imam ﷺ is warning us, don't take them as your companions, because this is going to lead to nifaq in your lives. Now, there are so many dangerous and harmful effects of nifaq in our lives. The first danger and the first effect that nifaq is going to have in our lives is that a person who is having nifaq in his heart loses dignity and honor. The Holy Prophet says, ذُو الْوَجْهَيْنِ لَا يَكُونُ وَجِيهًا. A person who is of two-faced person does not have any respect anywhere. Sometimes people do nifaq, they will meet me, they will meet you with a happy face as if he is our best friend. And the moment we turn, he is going to be stabbing us behind the back. This is something very bad. Today, if someone is behaving in this manner, has to take care of yourself. And one day this nifaq is going to appear. One day this nifaq is going to be apparent. People will know of this. Rasulullah says, a person who is of two-faced has no respect among people. Then Imam Ali ﷺ says, Iyaka wan nifaq. Second important effect, Iyaka wan nifaq, فَإِنَّ ذُو الْوَجْهَيْنِ لَا يَكُونُ وَجِيهًا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. This two-faced person does not have any respect in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahu Akbar. Whatever we do in this life is to gain respect of Allah, is to gain proximity and closeness to Allah. And this person, a munafiq, he is getting away from Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not, ignores him, does not have any respect. Third important thing, what type of punishment that this munafiq is going to receive. Now I'm just I'm just counting points because I know it is a very lengthy topic and I cannot cover it in few nights. Third important thing, Baqarah, chapter Baqarah, verse number 10, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يُخَادِعُونَ اللَّهَ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَمَا يَخْدَعُونَ إِلَّا أَنفُسَهُمْ وَمَا يَشْعُرُونَ. These people who are the munafiqeen and a hypocrite, he tries to deceive Allah and the faithful people. Now look how, sometimes, these munafiqeen, people who behave in this nifaq, in the manner of nifaq, they think that the more nifaq they do, the more clever they are. Unfortunately, this is what is happening in our societies now. The bigger munafiq you are, the better leader you make. This is something very bad. The more munafiq you are, the better politician you are. The more munafiq, the more nifaq you show, the better and the clever person you seem to be. This is bad. And sometimes people appreciate this. Oh, you are a good diplomat, you are a good politician. We are confusing diplomatic terms with nifaq. Yes, we have to understand. We have to be very clear. Quran gives us a very clear picture that you have to understand that this nifaq is something which is destroying your iman. It is eating up your faith. يُخَادِعُونَ اللَّهَ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. They try to deceive Allah. They are clever. They think they are clever, that they can cheat Allah. They try to deceive Allah and mu'mineen. وَمَا يَخْدَعُونَ إِلَّا أَنفُسَهُمْ وَمَا يَشْعُرُونَ. They are not deceiving anyone except themselves. They are only deceiving themselves. They are only cheating themselves. They think they are cheating the mu'mineen, but they are cheating themselves. They're going to deceive them. فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَض. This is why I'm calling this a disease of the heart. فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَض. In their hearts there is an illness, there is a disease. فَزَادَهُمُ اللَّهُ مَرَضًا. And Allah is going to increase this disease because they are getting away. They are getting away and further away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this disease is going to increase in their hearts. وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. And they are going to have a very hard punishment in the hereafter. This is the punishment, this is the effect of nifaq. Now, the important point that I was going to tell you, and I mentioned that please don't try to, match these signs. I'm just telling you about these signs, 6 or 7 signs of munafiq, how to recognize a nifaq. It is not, let me have this disclaimer. It is not for you to find out who's a munafiq amongst yourselves. It is not for that. It is for us to understand whether I have nifaq in myself or not. Please. The first sign that Quran tells us in chapter Nisa 142. These things are very important. I have to clarify these things. Otherwise, when I will go, you guys are going to talk amongst yourself. Maulana, he told me that the signs are fitting on that person. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Innal munafiqina yukhadi'una Allah wa huwa khadi'uhum. Munafiqeen, they try to deceive Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah deceives them. First sign, وَإِذَا قَامُوا إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ قَامُوا كُسَالًا. When they are called and when they want to go towards prayers, when they want to, fulfill their obligations, they feel lazy. When you call them for prayer, they feel lazy. Munafiq, one of the signs of nifaq is that you are going to feel lazy. Shaitan is going to make you lazy and you cannot get up for prayers. This is a sign of nifaq. Now this is for us to analyze ourselves. Second important sign, these people are going to show off. In the same ayah, يُرَاءُونَ النَّاسَ. They do things to show it to the people. They are not doing it out of ikhlas. They show it to show the other people. يُرَاءُونَ النَّاسَ. They are showing off. وَلَا يَذْكُرُونَ اللَّهَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. Third important sign is that they are only going to remember Allah very little. Sometimes you call them to, recite, pray in the mosque or, attend majlis or a'mal or whatever. They're going to show laziness. They're going to be lazy. This is one of the signs of nifaq for us to understand whether I am lazy towards my duties and obligations or not. Fourth important point, that these riwayats, they tell us, it is from the 11th Imam Al-Hasan Askari alayhi salatu wassalam. Imam says, بِئْسَ الْعَبْدُ. Such a bad servant, abdun. He's a very bad servant. Who? يَكُونُ ذَا الْوَجْهَيْنِ وَذَا اللِّثَانَيْنِ. A person who is of 2 faces and who is of 2 tongues. This is again a sign of a munafiq. He's having 2 faces and he's having 2 tongues. يُطْرِ أَخَاهُ شَاهِدًا وَيَأْكُلُهُ غَائِبًا. A munafiq, sign of a munafiq is that he will continuously do ghibat, and when he sees the same person, he will start flattering him. This is one of the signs of a munafiq. When I see my brother, I talk good about him on his face, and as soon as you turn your back, I start backbiting, I start doing ghibat. Imam says, بِئْسَ الْعَبْدُ عَبْدٌ. بِئْسَ الْعَبْدُ عَبْدٌ. He is a very bad servant. يَكُونُ ذَا الْوَجْهَيْنِ وَذَا اللِّسَانَيْنِ. With 2 faces and 2 tongues. As soon as he sees his brother, he starts flattering, talking good about him, as if he is the best lover and the best friend. Nobody is better than him for him. وَيَأْكُلُهُ غَائِبًا. And as soon as he is away, starts eating his flesh, doing ghibat. This is one of the signs. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all from these things. Fifth important sign of a munafiq, that surah, you have put the watch somewhere that I cannot see it properly. Now, if I take more time, don't blame me, because this wire, it's blocking my view. Yes. So, fifth important point which Surah Al-Munafiqun, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts up here, وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ تَعَالَوْا. Look at the sign of these munafiqeen. They have this takabbur in them. They have this feel of pride. I don't know why. They have this pride. And you advise them, give them a, please, just think about yourself. Don't think about someone else. Please. I know, it's bothering you. Don't think about someone else. Think about yourself. Am I like this? إِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ تَعَالَوْا يَسْتَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. Come. Rasul will ask for your forgiveness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَوَّوْا رُؤُوسَهُمْ. They're going to turn their heads. وَرَأَيْتَهُمْ يَصَدُّونَ وَهُمْ مُسْتَكْبِرُونَ. Arrogance. They will show utter arrogance. They're going to turn their faces as if they don't need the Holy Prophet, they don't need Quran, they don't need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they don't need any piece of advice from you. They think that they know everything. This is one of the signs of a munafiq, that he thinks he knows everything and he's doing correctly. The moment you try to correct him, and this is something very important, it is an issue that I need to address separately, which is Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahi anil Munkar. You have to do this amr. It is wajib upon us. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam in Nahj al-Balagha says, if from a community and a society amr bil ma'ruf fades away and dies out, that community is going to perish. It's going to die out. Because nobody is still there to tell you what is good and what is bad. You need to bid good and forbid evil. You need to do this amr bil ma'ruf and nahi anil munkar. If there is no, today, unfortunately, the elders, with all due respect to my elders, the elders, they think, I don't want to get into all this crap, fight. These young people, they're fighting. What do I have to do with this? They don't want to get into this. The young, they don't want to listen to the elders. There is no solution to this as if. There is no one to do amr bil ma'ruf. Unfortunately, this is what is happening. And I told you this is a separate topic. I don't want to get into this. This is not my topic for tonight. But amr bil ma'ruf, nahi anil, it has stages. Who can do amr bil ma'ruf? Who should not do amr bil ma'ruf? You should know the levels of amr bil ma'ruf. You should yourself first be doing something that you want to preach. There are so many levels. Now this is again something, if you tell a munafiq that this is wrong, he's going to turn his face and he's going to show arrogance. Sixth important thing that very quickly these munafiqeen, they have, that whenever you're going to look at them, you will, their appearance is very misleading and it is deceiving. You will think that they are good people. You will find them good at talking, at appearance. Quran again says, وَإِذَا رَأَيْتَهُمْ, same surah, chapter Munafiqun, verse number 4. وَإِذَا رَأَيْتَهُمْ تُعْجِبُكَ أَجْسَامُهُمْ وَإِنْ يَقُولُوا تَسْمَعْ لِقَوْلِهِمْ. When you look at them, their appearance is going to surprise you. When you look at them, their appearance is going to surprise you. And you're going to look at them. وَإِن يَقُولُوا تَسْمَعْ لِقَوْلِهِمْ. When they talk, you will listen to them. They are so misleading and they're so deceiving that they talk in a way that you think this is the truth and this is what is happening. But you don't know, it is something else in their heart. وَهُمُ الْعَدُوُّ فَاحْذَرْهُمْ. And Quran says, they are your enemies. Beware of them. Don't take them to your friends. If you know that this is a munafiq, try to do amr bil ma'ruf and nahi anil munkar. And if you cannot, stay away from them. These are munafiqeen. Now there are some ways, very quickly, to cure this nifaq and to understand how can we, solve this problem. This is not something which is inbuilt. Remember this. This is not something, we were born with. The nifaq, it comes into our lives. It is very similar to your physical well-being. Sometimes a physician and a doctor will tell you and advise you, someone who knows the knowledge of your body, he's going to advise you, don't take a lot of, you should refrain from a lot of sugar intake. Why? It's going to lead to diabetes. Don't take a lot of oil. It's going to, increase your cholesterol level, or maybe don't take a lot of salt. It is going to, harm you. This is what the doctors today, they tell you, the medical science, they tell you. The same thing is there in your spiritual well-being. Some of the things are there. Quran and a hadith will tell you, don't do this. This is going to harm you. Don't do that. It is going to spoil your well-being, your spiritual well-being. And some of the things are the cures. Now, yesterday I was not able to complete regarding hasad, some of the points which were the cures. Maybe if you find it interesting, I will let you know later on. But I want to finish quickly this one today. ways. What are the ways to cure this hypocrisy? What are the ways to cure this nifaq, which settles down in our hearts? First thing is to try to understand and try to read through the narrations in these ayats, that what punishment lies for a munafiq. What is the end result? What we are going to face if someone is behaving in a way of nifaq. He's having nifaq in his heart. He should know what punishment is there for a munafiq. Second important thing, as the Holy Prophet said, that excessive love of wealth and excessive love of status is going to lead to nifaq. Now, in order to destroy excessive love of wealth and status, ulama, they tell us, scholars, they advise us, if you remember your death, you will not have excessive love of this world. This is something very important. This is the cure. This is the solution to this problem. So in order to destroy the love, the excessive love of wealth and fame and status, remember your death. And this remembrance of death is also going to eradicate and clean your heart from nifaq. This is the second important advice in the narrations that we have. Third important advice to clean our hearts from nifaq, where Amir al-Mu'mineen advises us, and he talks about the effects of recitation of the Holy Quran. Imam says, فَاسْتَشْفُوهُ مِنْ أَدْوَائِكُمْ وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِهِ عَلَى اللَّوَائِكُمْ فَإِنَّ فِيهِ شِفَاءً مِنْ أَكْبَرِ دَاءٍ وَهُوَ الْكُفْرِ وَالنِّفَاقِ. Try to gain shafa from Quran, from the recitation of Quran. And this is our topic. This is the holy month of Ramadan, where recitation of Quran is a must. Imam says, just by reciting these verses, it is going to clean your heart from nifaq. Just imagine if a person tries to implement the ayats in their lives. Just a recitation is going to have this effect. How great the effect would be if we try to implement the ayats. Imam says, try to cure yourself with the Quran, with the recitation of Quran, because it is the only shafa from two important diseases, which is kufr and nifaq. Which is kufr, which is the disbelief, and hypocrisy. Fourth important, very important, and this point that I wanted to raise, I was trying to find out an excuse to bring up this point. Alhamdulillah, today I found this excuse. And from day one I have arrived here, I have been looking at certain things, examining. I will share some of the points with the committee. But this important point I wanted to raise, and I wanted to bring it to your attention. I know you know this, but it is important to understand it better. Fourth important point, which is a cure of this nifaq. This narration is narrated from the sixth Imam on behalf of the Holy Prophet, where the Holy Prophet says, ارفعوا أصواتكم بالصلاة علي فإنها تذهب بالنفاق. When you recite salawat upon me, raise your voices and recite salawat loudly, so that your heart becomes clean from nifaq. Not loud enough. Please recite a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. This issue I have been noticing. I don't know why people sometimes they feel so hard to recite this salawat. We think this is Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Nothing. We will know the importance of salawat when we are there standing in the line, in the queue, and our a'mal will be placed on the balance. Then we will know the importance of this short Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Sometimes it's so heavy upon us to move our tongue. Just out of the respect of the Holy Prophet, out of the respect of the 14 infallibles, whenever you hear the name, I see people, they are listening to adhan, name of the Holy Prophet has been called out, they don't care to recite salawat. The name of Amir al-Mu'mineen is being called out, they don't care to recite salawat. Iqama is being recited, they don't care. I know you know it better, but just to develop this habit, I'm not talking something, which is missing out. I'm just saying, if you can develop this habit, it will be so good, so better. The Holy Prophet says, a person is a stingy person who listens to my name and does not recite salawat upon me. Why? Why? Why can't we recite salawat on the Holy Prophet? What does it take? How much time does it take? This salawat is going to clean our hearts. This is the barakah of salawat. One barakah. One effect of this salawat. If you recite, and Rasulullah does not say, recite salawat upon me. He says, recite salawat loudly upon me. On top of your voices, loudly. You should raise your voice. Don't recite salawat as if you are ashamed of something. Is it so difficult to recite salawat? Is it so hard to recite salawat? As soon as we remember, teach you. I know the elders, it's difficult sometimes to make a new habit, but teach your kids, teach the young generation. Tell them whenever you listen any name, the names from the names of the 14 infallibles, you must recite salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Now we were talking about, it is again a long chapter and a long discussion to have the merits of salawat. But inshallah some other time. Let me just give you a gift tonight, a very beautiful hadith regarding nifaq. Once the Holy Prophet was sitting in the mosque with his companions all gathered around him, and later on Amir al-Mu'mineen enters the mosque. And people see Amir al-Mu'mineen entering the mosque. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings that time closer. We see Imam Zamana entering the mosque and we praying behind him, inshallah. Amir al-Mu'mineen, what a wonderful scene it would have been. And everybody knew where Amir al-Mu'mineen sits. Everybody knew what was the place of Amir al-Mu'mineen. So Amir al-Mu'mineen, when he was entering the mosque, people started giving him place because the Holy Prophet started making place for Amir al-Mu'mineen to sit beside him. So people knew that Prophet wanted him to sit next to him. So they started making place for Ali, alayhi salatu wasalam, and Imam Ali walked straight to Rasulullah and sat beside the Holy Prophet. Now amongst the companions, two companions who were very famous regarding nifaq and munafiqat, they started talking about something. They started whispering into each other's ears. The Holy Prophet saw them whispering, and the Holy Prophet got annoyed and he said, what are you doing? Why are you whispering into each other's ears? Said, Ya Rasulullah, we were talking about something, The Holy Prophet knew. And the effects of anger appeared. The riwayah said it appeared on his face. And he was angry and he said, beware and be known to everyone that nobody can enter. And Rasulullah takes an oath and he says, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nobody can enter Jannah and heaven without my love. Nobody can enter Jannah without my love. And then Amir al-Mu'mineen is sitting beside him. And he said, nobody can love me without the love of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And then the Holy Prophet says, Ya Ali, hubbuka imanun wa bughdhuka nifaq. Oh Ali, iman and your love is iman and your hatred is nifaq. So the first nifaq that we need to eradicate from our lives is the nifaq, is the hatred of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah clean our hearts and minds from these vices, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to remain on the right path of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us and give us the tawfiq to benefit from these auspicious nights and days of the month of Ramadan. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to understand and to practice Quran in our lives. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure all the lovers of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam with whatever illness and sickness they are going through. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect the lives of the mu'mineen, of the Muslimin around the world. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala count us among the companions of the Imam of our time, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasten the reappearance of the Imam of our time.